And our next comedian came all the way from Hamilton, Ontario. He's part of a crew called the Sons of Comedy, and I kind of imagine, like, I don't know his whole crew, but I imagine him just driving around on motorcycles, just like telling dick jokes and whatnot. And he's also got a really, really funny YouTube show called Brandon's Apartment. And without further ado, Brandon Sobel!
So who already doesn't like me? Not bad. No, I have to have a trumpet in my act because I see a psychologist. And I see a psychologist because like around 2 years ago, I was walking home from a comedy show, and from behind I got hit by a Swiss LA delivery guy. No, you guys can laugh. It happened to me, not you guys. Full out. I was walking and it broke my pelvis. I woke up in the hospital. I couldn't walk for 5 days. And I heard it on Facebook, so it's cool. Everyone thought I got raped, so it was fine. No, it's messed up. It was weird too, because I got hit by the car, and when I opened my eyes, I got to my feet because of the adrenaline, and the guy was like, "Hey, do you need a ride anywhere?" And I was like, "Yeah, the hospital." You just hit me with your car. So I have to see a psychologist now because I'm angry and I suffer from PTSD or whatever it is, and she asked me if I have anything I do that like releases anger, and I was like, yeah, I do comedy, or whatever the fuck you guys call whatever I'm doing. And she's like, oh, can I see some? And I told her a joke, and then I played her a little bit of a clip on YouTube, and like 15 seconds in, she stopped it. And she's like, yeah, that doesn't help your anger at all. That's just that's fueling your anger. Do you have anything else that you do? And I was like, yeah, I rap. And you guys usually when I'm like, do you guys want to hear some rap music? I get booed because I'm from Hamilton. Well, it's just, I don't know, I'm 5'4", I'm Jewish, and then everyone's just like, I'm like, yeah, who wants to hear some rap music? Yeah. Thanks, guys. So I'm going to rap for you guys, but before I do that, we have a thing where I want to go, I have this callback where I go, my lyrics are great, and then you guys go, but your jokes are mediocre. Okay, so it's like, lyrics are great. My lyrics are great. Going through the garbage of a starving artist, prayed for something good to eat, had it all and lost it, blowing on his cartridge, piercing bone through cartilage, Marshall Mathers' biggest fan, well since Randy Marsh's kid. My whole life, why you rapping from a cul-de-sac? My whole life, how you rapping from a cul-de-sac? It's mine, man, so run the track and take the plaque. Did it for my city, fuck it, you can have it back. Lyrics are great. So I rap for my psychologist a little. And it wasn't even that one. It was like, you know that song by Jay-Z and Rick Ross, The Devil is Alive, or a Lie? I wrote a remix, and I was like, The Devil is Alive. And I did some things where I was like, my subscription is my mission's your subscription, and I ain't even Christian. The devil is alive. I take the bus, but my dreams do drive. The devil is alive. And before I could even go into any more, she's like, that fuels your anger too. Can you do anything that doesn't make you angry? And I told her I play the trumpet. So she told me that whenever I'm angry, I should play the trumpet. So, my brother's a lawyer, my sister's a doctor, and I look like Joe Pesci. If Joe Pesci looked like Rick Moranis. I didn't tell you guys I was any good at the trumpet. I just told you I had it, and I'm just fucking you. Hopefully it gets better. I smoked a lot of weed before I got here. And he's like, oh, I forgot the end of my set. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying right now in this moment, but we'll go with it. And then usually, too, I'm like, who here smokes weed? But, like, look at you guys. All of you, it's like, you guys are high right now. This guy's fucking baked, and you're with you guys, so I assume you're all high as fuck. I want to say you're not, but you are. I heard your music. It's beautiful. It's about smoke, and maybe you guys just smoke cigarettes. Maybe if anyone here doesn't smoke weed, it's these four. But the rest of you are baked as shit. And I've been smoking weed every day for 10, 15 years. Every day. And I'm still me. But all my friends are like 10, 15 years later. That makes sense to anyone? It's like I smoked a bong, and someone's like, hey, I got a wife and kids now. What the? It's like, hey, pass the blunt. And like we finish a blunt, and someone's like, hey, I got a career. Fuck, I started smoking poppers for a bit, and everyone's like, hey, we got cars. It's like a time machine. You ever notice that you smoke so much weed, and it's like you only went forward? There's this whole thing, my friend's a physicist, and you can only go forward with time. Any physicists in the crowd, sort of make that face and assume none of you fucking deal with that. I was just like, yeah, none of, because I feel at home right now, and I don't know anything about physics. But I know you can only go forward, and that's what weed's done for me. And all my friends have, like I said, wives, kids, careers, cars, and I still listen to G-Unit. No, good G-Unit, like Lloyd Banks and Young Buck, like that good shit. G-U. It's the only place, usually when I go, everyone's like, oh, fucking G-Unit, and then everyone here, like these guys are like, yeah, I'll teach you to stunt one. Like, you know, like, that's awesome. I'm glad I'm here right now. Oh, I listen to G-Unit off my Motorola Razr. Because I'm from the past. It sounded cooler in my head. It's weird too, man. You guys ever notice, you ever see a white guy in a do-rag? First of all, are there any white guys in do-rags here before I can... Who are you pointing at? He's not wearing it right now. He took it off. No, but every time I ever come to one of these shows, I love it. Because again, I love hip-hop music. And I'm fully aware of what I look like and the height. You know how sure I am? First of all, this. Second of all, I was in the bathroom here. Ladies, you don't know what it's like? The urinal comes to like my fucking chest. I saw a guy earlier, I'm not going to point him out because I'm high and don't remember, but he's like 6'3", and he had to use the stall to use the toilet.
Sorry, Philly.
That's how I want to... Yeah, it's weird because if you ever see a white guy in a do-rag, he definitely knows where to find some weed. I'm not saying it's good weed. I'm not saying it's anything you want to smoke, but he could definitely... And I was at my drug dealer's house. And he was wearing a do-rag. He's black, but he was wearing a do-rag. Hey, I love black people. I love black people that I know. Black people I don't know scare the shit out of me. No, I know Curtis. We're good, guys. We's good, everybody. And it was weird, too, because we were smoking weed, and his phone kept ringing, and it said, we live above a barber shop, okay? And he lives in my building, and then the barbershop kept calling. And it was like, what the fuck is a barbershop calling you for? And he's like, oh man, he just wants weed. And then the next thing you know, his internet went off. And it's like, what kind of drug dealer are you that your internet went off? Like, you should be better at drug selling if you can't pay your Cogeco bill. And he's just like, no man, the barber, we share it, and when he really wants weed, he just cuts the fucking internet. And I'm like, so he literally cut the internet, and he like weighed up his weed and ran downstairs. I was just like, whoa, that's like the bat signal. I don't know, that was a new joke I'm trying right now. It's funny, you can see it because it's hilarious. It was so funny that he had to like, hold on, I have to get my internet back. From the guy downstairs. It's fucking weird. Yeah, and I was saying I love black people. My ex-girlfriend was black, and it was great. Well, she was half black. Don't go to a family dinner and be like, oh, thanks for giving birth to my little African. No, you look like a big racist when you do that. Because some black people are from the islands, and they're not from Africa. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that either. And I used to tell this joke. Because you guys are such loving people, I'm gonna tell you guys the first joke I ever was really proud of. And now, yeah, that's how I feel about the joke now too. Exactly. Just like, what the fuck is going on? And I smoke a lot of weed, as you can tell, and I love. Hey, when I was a kid, my grandma used to call me Muffin. Her name's Brandon, so she called me Bran Muffin. My parents thought it was hilarious. I didn't get it. I get it now. She changed my diapers, and I shat a lot. So it makes total sense. But my parents would think it was fucking hilarious. And I get it now. I smoke weed. Muffins are hilarious. I'm a fucking person. You know, I'm not a muffin. I'm a human being. Like, I got dreams, and I'm not a... Whoa, muffins. Crazy. We're both talking about muffins. And so my mom's name's Barb, and my dad's name's Barry. And my dad's bipolar. And And when he sits in rooms all sad, he's just sad. And I like to fuck with him, right? And the whole muffin thing, so I walk into a room, and I'm just like, why so blue, Barry? Told you, if you were high, this shit would be hilarious, sir. And he gets all angry at me, and I'm like, whoa, why so raspberry? And I know, again, first joke. I prep fucking trumpet. Where is it? All right, here we go. And then my mom chimes in, and she's just like, why are you picking on your dad? Why? And I'm like, oh, why so rude, Barb? Like a sour rhubarb. So I met my ex-girlfriend's dad for the first time, and his name was Barry, too. And I don't know why I said it, but I was like, why so blackberry? Don't do that either. Don't be like, because that was back to back. I was like, oh, why so African? He's like, what? And I'm like, oh, why so blackberry? Now I'm single. It's weird too. I don't know how to even tell you guys this. I used to work at a bridal store. You know, my dad sold wedding dresses. And it's cool because when you rap and you're rapping, you tell people, I never pushed white, but I pushed white dresses. And that was part of my, ha! And then, you know, so I would sell dresses and I would push those whites, you know? Because think of it, love and marriage is sort of like a drug. So I'm like pushing drugs. And I never went to I just told you the punchline of that joke. I never went to car shows growing up. I just never did. That was never a thing. Did any of you guys ever go to car shows growing up?
Not really.
Yeah, some of you ladies went to car shows growing up? Yeah. I went to bridal shows. Like, I can't tell you the difference between 40 and 44-inch rims, but I could literally tell you 50 shades of gray. Gray, shadow, silver, smoke, anchor, slate, stone, granite, graphite, pearl. That's crazy. Like, this is more of like a charcoal, where this would be more of like a flint or a pebble. Who the fuck knows that? And then if you ever go to a bar, you're like, hey, ladies, I know 50 Shades of Grey. Are you wet yet? Yeah, that's exactly. I can't even fucking pause because it's so awkwardly disgusting. So it's just like, 50 Shades, imagine you were getting married, and you're like, hey, bridesmaids, I have the perfect color for you. Elephant. That's offensive, right? Hey, ladies, perfect color, whale, you fat bitch. You can't tell that to your friends. Imagine you were getting married to Sean, you're like, hey, mom, I have the perfect color dress for you. Fossil. I was about to drop a C word, and I'm glad I didn't, because that off that, don't say cunt. Can I say, just don't say it, guys. Don't think about, no, but that's weird. I was in the bridal thing, and I used to work with my grandma, and my grandma would be like, oh, your comedy's so remarkable. And that sounds great, right? Until you research the word. It doesn't mean anything good, it doesn't mean anything bad. It just means it's worth remarking on. It's all remarkable. For 5 years, my grandma's like, oh, your comedy, remarkable. Nothing of value. The only time I've ever heard her say it, other than saying it to me, is that okay, ladies, you know when you're in a fitting room? I want to ask you, ma'am, I haven't talking to you yet. You know when you're in a fitting room and you're like trying on a dress? Sure? Fuck. Okay, so you're in a fitting room, I assume, okay? And there's fitting rooms, and I've never been in there trying on dresses. And you know when you're in a bathroom, and there's like, you're in a stall, you're not in the stall, you're washing your hands, and someone else is in a stall, and you can like hear them in the stall. You know what I'm saying? If someone's taking like dirty, sloppy, drippy poops in the stall, and you're like just da-da-da, and you hear this madness in your shit and whatnot, you can hear it. So when these women, I'm from Hamilton, I don't know what it's like in Toronto, but in Hamilton you see really, really ugly babies. Like really ugly fucking babies. And I'm not one to judge, and they bring them in the bridal store, and they go to try on their wedding dresses, and my grandma's just like, look at that ugly kid. And they're in the stall. So I'm saying if I'm washing my hands, water on, freestyling to myself, loving life, and I hear someone with diarrhea, if my grandma's like, look at that ugly fucking child, and you're trying on a dress, and you're like, oh, Becky, you look beautiful, and I can hear you talk to Becky, you could hear my grandma be like, what a mutant. You know what I'm saying? Like, what a fucking... So these women come out of the change room like, what'd you say about my baby? And I kid you not, my grandma's like, it's remarkable. That's what she says about me. She compares my comedy skylings to ugly fucking babies. This is the part where I solo, guys. Lyrics are great. Thanks, guys. Only the guy with the beard was the one to be like, your jokes are still mediocre, rap more. Sick. It's sick. What can I tell you? I'm saying I smoke a lot of weed because I do, and I went to the doctor, and the doctor told me I had a little bit of bronchitis. He told me that I want to get an inhaler for that, and he recommended more fruits and vegetables. He said eat an apple every day, and then he recommended broccoli, beans, all that good stuff, right? So what I did was I went for a run this morning for like 15, 20 seconds, like enough to get my heart rate up. Even now I'm out of breath. And I went to the farmer's market and I found this beautiful Granny Smith apple and I brought it home and I whittled it into a pipe like an inhaler and I consumed more greens. You guys have been remarkable. Yeah, I think I want to tell you guys more stuff. I don't know, that was good. You know, I feel good about that. Might want to rap a little bit more for you guys. You want to hear some more rap music? Yeah. Yeah, it's more like, my lyrics are great. My flow mediocre. I'll leave your girl wet like a super soaker. Double barrel. SOP showers. Binford Tool. Proudly presents more power. I'm from the hammer. You're the pog, I'm the slammer. Radio doctor. No Kelsey's grammar. Sideshow clown with a mental disorder. Half acting Hollywood. New world order. Everyone picks Coke challenge. I prefer Pepsi. My sister's a genius. Put up numbers like Gretzky. Brother network. Building off network. And I did well in school, but connections came first. Again, you guys have been remarkable. Mr. Sean, she's got a cool last name. You guys should check it out. Thank you.